May go on and everyone, and welcome back to some more Misty Mountains with me, Malevolent Urgalan. We are currently sailing boat, no, rather only DeLorean elves, and Mirkwood is wooding around and not doing that much. The dwarves are very angry with us, or ticked off rather, and they are definitely going for Dane's Hall, and I have a feeling that sooner or later they are going to get or take Dane's horse, but that's going to be a little bit of a while, and we still can mount an assault against Vithibord there to stop them. Now, I do believe that I am at an end chance, so I shall start by doing that. Oh, there we are. Furthermore, I can tell you that spring and summer has finally arrived up here in our cold north. First day today that I actually wore shorts and a t-shirt and not jeans and other long heavy jackets and jumpers and what one wears. It was a pleasant surprise, shall we say, to see that spring and summer has finally arrived. Speaking of things that have arrived, Haldir has decided that he will not go out without a fight, neither will this captain here, Mythirion, who's going to aid and with a ballista. Now, we have a full army, so I do expect to win the battle. And if we don't, I'll never forgive myself. But other than that, I also fully expect us to lose quite a few orcs to his march wardens, because I fear them and they look fierce and very cool. So I am very scared of going up against them, even though they are only 4 units. I'm showing with my fingers and you can't see that. There we are. So yeah, let's just, well, there's so many trees that that's actually going to work in our favor. Screw it, we'll just start the battle. Pause it, and oh, it was me. Oh, Haldi is not in it yet. Haldi is approaching. Fascinating. Now, seeing as they are archers, and we barely have any archers, and archers are nothing to write home about, so to say. We are going to perform a full frontal assault. That's what we're going to do. Full on, straight in, no regrets, kill as many as we can. Take advantage of the trees because they're here, and yeah, let's just kill them. And they're delayed again. I can't believe, how on earth? Ooh, look at that. The trees are really waking up there. But I mean, how can there be a problem? I have nothing on in the background. And I've easily run a battle with full armies on both sides without any problem. And they don't constitute a full banner army or full army with these 3 plus Haldir. So I don't know why Haldir can't join. Haldir? Probably. And it's just annoying. Now, I do appreciate that I possibly could and probably should have unlocked the battle sizes by now, but I've neglected to do so because I always forget, and then I started recording and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should have done that. I even have it written up there in my book. Speaking of which, I should probably be on the correct side. That might actually aid me. There we are. No, that's the wrong side. There we are. Misty Mountain page. Also, I noticed, or someone pointed out rather, that I had been misnumbering my episodes, and that is completely due to the fact that I forgot to enter in one of the episodes into my little book, in which I keep track of the numbers and such. So therefore, there was a short period when there were 2 episode 9s on my YouTube channel. I, however, have since removed or renamed rather the one of the 9 episode 9s, and they are now correctly numbered, and there should be no more such problems as long as I remember to enter in everything. But speaking of entering in, they are just going to be running away. We're going to be chasing them, and there's not much else to do really. except wait for Haldi to show up, in which case I think he's coming from there, so I might as well position my archers there. And we need to catch these elves, which is going to be much easier said than done. Oh, hello, there they are. Here we go. They are charging, they are winded, but I mean, charging in on elves, even when charging in on elves, we should at least kill a few of them, and hopefully we can keep them pinned. Now, where is that final? There they are. Lorien archers. I mean, they're so strong even though they're just archers. And they're so fast, you can't catch them, so I don't know why they decided to just stay and fight. Oh, you're automatically flanking, I like that. Thinking on your feet. Making orcs proud, and they're routed. Keep after them. Leave none alive. What can I furthermore tell you? Well, I can tell you that much that I have not actually officially got any more schoolwork for this year. Well, I say officially because there's some voluntary schoolwork I can do to make sure that I might actually be on schedule, constituting a exam in like the second week of June actually. And I don't have to take it actually because I could take it in the autumn, which is coming, but I think it's best to do it as quickly as possible so you don't have to wait and then hope that it actually works out as you want to. So also you get one more shot at it if you try it a little bit earlier, so that's what I'm going to do. So there's that, but other than that we only have me and one more. We're doing some we have a physics course in which we do experiments basically. We are in a laboratory and basically we do all sorts of things. We have a wind tunnel with which we measure wind resistance. We can measure electronical resistance over circuits and such, and other such things. Spectrum analysis was one thing we did, and so on and so forth. And we did those laborations experiments. We did those in the spring of 2016, and as you may be able to see from the date mark on this video, it is now the spring of 2017. So we are quite slow at actually writing up these reports and submitting them. Thankfully there's no hard deadline, which I pointed out to the the teacher that it's stupid not to have a deadline. He agreed, but it is what it is. Though we are closing in, we just submitted today our fourth report out of 5. So hopefully that one goes through, and then we only have to do one more, which hopefully won't take long. And I think that one is actually some form of quantum physics, in which we look at atoms and their energy levels and such. So that might be cool, but probably quite annoying and difficult to do. But I mean, we have to do it sometime, and we've neglected to do it for long enough, shall we say that like that? Yeah. That's a fair thing to say, I think, because we have really been neglecting it. Though it's fine. It's basically everyone does it, so that means it's fine, right? That's how it works, yeah. But that's still nothing if you compare to some other laborations, which I actually didn't do because I was conscripted when they went or were held the last time. So I had to do something else which wasn't as time consuming and as laborious. And that is some starting elaborations, shall we say, which basically include a ton of testing. There's not much brain work associated with it. It's just like, okay, we need to do this bazillion measurements and then put them in an Excel thing, and once you have it in an Excel file, we are just going to write a report on it basically and do some derivations and calculate probabilities and such things. Basically boring stuff, handiwork, and stuff you do with computers, but well, maybe not computers, but what you do with associates and first year well, first year students or first year people who are their first year at work at a company, I believe, could do this type of thing. So it's really, really rudimental and, shall we say, boring. And the funny thing is that they did those elaborations in the spring of 2015. At this point, that is 2 years ago. Right, think of that. Having a course span, yeah, having a course span the time of 2 years like that, that's quite impressive, I believe. It's quite interesting. And almost all of my friends went or took that course and still have written. They had to write 12 elaboration reports. They are much shorter than the ones we're writing for our more advanced elaboration courses, of course. But still, they take a bit of work, and you need to be focused, and you need to find the time to sit down with your partner and actually do those work things. And that can always be hard because you have so many other courses that you need to take and focus on, and they just fall behind. And you just forget about them, willingly or otherwise, and oh, that's a strong garrison. Yeah, I'm going to keep carrying Amrod. I'm not going for that. I'm not going to take it. I can't take it, but I can do that. So yeah, and I believe, yeah, did I say how close they were? I think the closest one is actually 10 after 12 currently. And the funny thing is that they can't even really work on it during the summer holiday because one of them is in Åland and the other one is up. No, actually, the other one is out south in the archipelago, quite a bit out on a small island. And you would think that the archipelago would be quite close together in that case because they are both out on islands, but they're actually not quite close to each other, so they can't really work that well during the summer holidays either. And let's not forget that those also have their more advanced elaboration reports, and I just find that funny. Now, how long have I managed to mangle away there? I think maybe even 10 minutes. You may find that incredibly boring, and I appreciate that, but I mean, I wanted to mention it and talk about it a little bit. I don't know why, just wanted to. And they want me to take that again, but that might actually be able to this time. I think I span off of summer holiday, did I? I think that's what I was talking about. And what else can I tell you about my summer holiday? Well, I still have a bachelor's text, which I still haven't finished. It shouldn't take too long. It's basically just, it's in mathematics, but it's basically just, okay, so you need to find these sources and you need to find the text from those sources and you need to put it together in a report and submit the report and then you're done. In other words, you need to find text and you need to take the pertinent information out of those texts and edit it into your own words. Basically, and maybe do a little bit more explanation than the original sources do. That's basically what it is. And, oh, look at that. Why are they coming here? Oh, they were connected there, aren't they? They might actually be connected there. That's a strong army. No, it's not. It's just Ali and Longbowmen that are going to fall so incredibly easily to my Uruk defenders. It's not even funny. Hopefully. Right. I'll actually send these units up there to aid. They're going to assault from the back potentially. But yeah, our bachelor texts, 15 to 20 pages you have to write, and I'm at like 14 to 16 if I remember rightly, and I actually wrote on it 2 days ago last time, and I've just submitted a draft of it to see what my professors think, and if it's good. I don't have that much left actually, so that's my summer holiday, making sure that I get my elaboration reports submitted and approved, so I get study points for those, and then as well managed to get my bachelor, oh, Bulk's Champions, that's going to be awesome, and get my bachelor text finished. Those are going to be the key priorities during this summer. And of course I'm going to try and keep up with my schedule as well, because let's face it, Even though I claim to work quite a bit on those, it's not going to take the whole day, and I should still be able to record these videos without a problem. But I don't want to go above 2 videos because I'm not going to be here at this precise computer being able to record. I could potentially record on a different computer, but then you need to keep track of save files and it's just going to get messy and you are just inviting crashes to your game, and I think it's much better to have it on one single computer. Alright, so Lauren is actually going to, or Forodrine is actually going to fall in one turn. I don't think they're going to let it fall, so potentially we're going to have to fight there. Those look really cool. Look at that. That picture is quite a bit boring, but you can't actually see. You should have maybe taken it from the side, but other than that, it looks quite cool. Attack cannon and a rod. We are advancing against Imladris as well, whilst the Dalian forces are approaching on us, or encroaching rather. Now I'm very, very tempted to actually position troops there. Yeah, let's position them on that crossing there and let's see what happens. Might be a stupid idea, it might not, we shall see. More units there and go from Gundabad as well. Actually, you have quite... Hello, more units. Hehe, more wags. Wag! Alright, so making quite a bit of money actually, so that's fine. We can support those armies. Now, also, one thing I will touch upon, I have received quite a bit of comments on my version 2 overview, or changelog rather. And I'm very, very pleased with the response I've got from it. I've got only one dislike, and this might be jinxing it, but that was my first dislike ever on any of my videos. So someone dared to click that button, and I appreciate that you may not have liked it, and you feel free to do that if you wish, but I would like to know why you clicked that if you're at all listening to this. I would very much like to learn what I did wrong. Maybe you have already replied, in which case you can ignore that. But yeah, I've received quite a few comments and I'm very, very pleased with that, because I think response and critique, constructive criticism, is the foundation of human society, basically. Maybe not that dramatic, but get my point. It's very, very important because criticism helps you evolve and it helps you remove things that are bad from your work and improve upon the good, or improve upon the bad things and keep the good things good, and maybe even improve upon those. So I do very much appreciate, like for instance, there was one gentleman who I can't name because I can't remember his name, but who mentioned that I should have a timestamps in the description for the videos, to change our videos, and I think that's a splendid idea actually, because then people will be able to jump to the parts which they are actually interested in and not have to watch the whole thing. And I appreciate that since it was a 1 hour long video that people may not want to watch the whole thing. So I will endeavor to actually include that in the coming episodes of that. Speaking of, will possibly come out next week. That is my hope anyways, and that is what I'm going to strive for, and I should be able to complete it because I should not have that much work next week. So that is my hope, and that is what I'm shooting for. Okay, we're just going to do a bit of defensive strategy here. I do not like that we can't actually put up our units immediately because we are being attacked from the city. So I think that's a bit dull, a bit boring, and not as all fun. But you know, you take what you get, and sometimes you don't get that good things. Oh well. Righty-o, righty-roo, as they say, or as I say rather. Right. Position you on the flank there. We need to add in some supports in the middle, and you can stay there, yeah, and you can actually move to stand there. That should be fine, and I think everyone is moving. That's not true. You move there, and that should be everyone, and just run and unpause the game. You should be firing fire arrows, thank you very much. And I am actually going to take the skirmishing wargs and try to use them. There we are. Okay. But yes, constructive criticism is always welcomed, and I appreciate that not everyone is going to like what I do, and that's completely fine. If you don't like my videos, don't watch them. It's completely fine. I do them for myself anyway, so really, that anyone actually wants to watch them is a huge honor for me. I take huge pride in that. And if I then get people saying that, yeah, okay, that wasn't so good, but if you had done that or that or that, then maybe it would have been better. Then I will take that criticism to heart and I will actually try and improve. But if someone just say that was a bad video or like something similar basically, that was bad, why didn't you do that or that or that, or crappy video or whatever, then I mean, okay, yeah, you make it known that you didn't like the video, sure, but you don't tell me why you didn't like it, so how am I supposed to improve upon it? Like, come on. Now, I haven't had any of those comments actually, so I don't know why I'm banging on about that, but I just don't want to receive those, so preemptive is always better than reactive, I think anyways, so therefore I am trying to mention it a little bit. I'm trying to mention before it actually becomes a problem, because then we are being proactive instead of reactive, and I think that's better. But do feel completely free to comment and not like my videos if you want to, but please tell me why, so I can improve. Now I appreciate that you may not actually stay around and watch longer if you've already expressed displeasure, but I mean, improve the experience for the other people. Garden are actually quite strong. And we're going to go to the center there, because they have foolishly pulled every single unit away from the center. And we are actually firing on our own troops, which is less than ideal. I would have to know that. That's my goblin then. Lol. Oh, now we are firing though. Very good. Furthermore, I can also tell you that I have recently gotten a huge interest in Guild Wars 2. It was introduced by, or actually mentioned by the modding leader to this very mod. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's give it a try, because he seems so passionate about it, and he likes this game, and he seems like a nice guy, so presumably he has some type of taste when it comes to game. And tried it, and let's just say that I can't go a day without playing it if I am able to play it every day. Of course, there are login rewards as well, so you're encouraged to play every day. And yeah, if any one of you are actually interested, then I am playing a Sylvari Mesmer, and I am currently level 60, maybe 7 or 70, 67 or 68. I can further tell you, if you're so inclined, that I actually started playing last Saturday, or one Saturday before last, which would mean that today I would have been playing game 4, 9, 10, 11 days. Oh, this is the 11th day, because I'm recording this on what's the day today? Wednesday. Yeah, that's it. Wednesday, the 24th of May, 2017. I appreciate that it may not be interesting, but that's what I do, and I think it's very fun to play, and I do so much enjoy the Mesmer class. It's so much fun, so very fun class, because you get these funny illusions which you can just run around the whole battlefield with, and it's a huge amount of fun to use them. Actually, also, one of the reasons that I never actually tried Guild Wars 2 before 8-ish days ago, oh 9, 10, whatever I said, days ago is actually because I tried the first one, Guild Wars 1, and I was less than impressed by it. It's very old now, I appreciate that, but when I tried it, it was relatively new. And I just didn't like it because the world was so empty because you were all in like instanced versions of the game world. Now I appreciate that you could easily-ish find a group inside the huge cities and go out together, but I mean I don't like having to find people inside cities to go out into the world with. I want to be able to be in the world and just uh, like in number 2 you can actually just be out in the world. There will come up an event which is like, yeah, okay, this world boss has spawned, like go there and kill him, and that happened like yesterday, and we were like 50 people or even more than that just gathered in one single spot just to kill a world boss when he spawned, and it's such a good feeling when we actually finally brought him down. Such a huge feeling. That's not something you got from Guild Wars 1. It was very empty, very, very boring, very desolate, and I did not like it. Did not like it one bit, especially not if you've been playing Lord of the Rings Online, which actually has a very, very ish active community, which is very, very kind. So I do enjoy playing that. I still do enjoy playing that whenever I take the time to do so. But basically, yeah, giving it a try and falling immediately in love with it. It was too. That is such a good game, and as you can see, for some reason, even though we have been fighting against elves and I have been paying next to no attention to the battle, we have still only lost 15%. How have we only lost 15% against elves? I cannot believe it. With only some ballistae, some Varg skirmishers, which presumably got a good amount of kills actually, and I don't think the War Raiders did that good, to be completely frank with you, because they're not that good unless you've microed them, and I clearly didn't. But I think that the skirmishers actually may have gotten a few kills, so we shall see in stat boxes who actually got the most kills. But I'm amazed that we haven't taken more losses against these elves, because they were quite formidable, or there were quite a few of them. So I don't know what actually happened to them. They just routed. There's a bit of a carnage here, but that was only... It wasn't a protracted battle, but there's so many dead horses there actually. I don't know why. Oh, I know. It might actually be my archers, because even if they are only goblin archers and basically militia level archers, there are so many of them that even if you pepper an elf with 11 arrows, maybe the 12th one will finally bring him down. And that must have been what happened, that I used enough arrows and then finally they were brought down. Can't get any other explanation for that. I presume that my ballista did quite alright as well. It didn't have auto fire on for some weird reason. Probably turned that off by accident, but whatever. Now, I would tell you more about Guild Wars, but if I do that, I feel like I should tell you where and how I play, and if I do that, I'm going to get a very particular Belgian gentleman a bit ticked off with me. So I think I shall refrain from that and just say that I play on the world. Well, I play on a European world for one thing, so basically be on any European world and one can find me. And I play on Underworld if anyone is so inclined. I don't expect anyone to actually start playing Guild Wars because I said that, but I mean, maybe, you never know. Highly doubt it that any of my somewhat off 100 views on this one is going to actually recruit anyone. I appreciate that the changelog video got like 1500 views as of now in like half a week, but that's mostly due to the fact that it was promoted by the mod leader, and he said that go here if you want to see the changelog, because I'm not going to do them, I don't have the time. So if you want to see them, go there. And that's mostly why I got so many views. But yeah, I'm playing Underworld, and I am a fancy blue and green Sylvari messman. It's such good fun. Such good fun. And I don't know why I'm not going out to 6 times speed, because we're going to win as soon as that one runs down, because those goblins are never going to catch up to those. Oh, wait, I've misspoken. No? Then. Oh, hello, they caught one. Haha. Yeah, oh, look at that. He's wigging out. He's too wigging out. He's a scarecrow. They're both scarecrows. He's got one arm only, though. He's got two arms as well. He's still holding the bow. He doesn't even have blood on his face. I think this one would be much more scary for crows. They would not want to go near him because they see that, oh, we kill people here. How can I continue the battle if we already... Oh, anyways. Dilosh. 384 lost. How is that possible? Who killed the most? Casualties inflicted is actually mostly due to goblin archers there. Warg riders there. Not warg skirmishers, warg riders apparently. They were much better than I thought. Warg skirmishers did much worse than I thought they would, and goblin archers did quite alright. But at least they did barely anything. But oh my god, I cannot believe... Well, the goblin band almost got obliterated. And we healed like 3%. But I mean, that's incredible stats against... Oh, that's a cool view. What might that be? I have no idea. I would say the Elves of Aken at Kuyuvien, but then again, that person there has a beard. So it's probably not that. It might be the Anorian people living up in the north, experiencing a little bit of a forward scouting camp and a little bit of a nice starry evening. It might be something along those lines. Might be the Dunedain who just live now in the Third Age and keep an watchful eye on the north so that nothing comes from there. That's also possible. I don't know which one is more likely. Feel free to post your own comments and thoughts on that if you have any and are so inclined. It's a little bit of a fun game, guessing where these screenshots or loading screens come from and where the artist actually got the inspiration from. Alright. Oh, hello. The ring. Right, also one more thing I shall mention is that the mod leader Arahir, Galodirithan, has actually started doing a rune campaign. So if in version 2.0, as it is currently, he actually has a little bit of a more advanced build than I do. So if you want to see more changes that's gone into 2.0 so far, then I do highly recommend you go check him out. You probably already do if you are here, I appreciate that, but if you're not, I highly recommend you find him and watch what he does because it's really fun. Right, actually that's a stupid investment. I'm going to wait on you a little bit. I'm not under siege, am I? Or am I? No, I'm not under siege. Why am I not under siege? I do not know. We need more... No, we don't really. Oh, hello. Oh, look, there they are. The Flame Wranglers. In 21 turns we can get them and then we can rain hell upon our enemies. Ah, 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 ah. It's going to be so much fun seeing those in action because I never actually have... Oh, wait, no. I saw them once in action. And that was only a demonstration, not actually in a proper campaign setting. So it's going to be really fun to use them. Highly inaccurate ballistic units, but I mean... Why did I build a radar gun? That's not... No. Go for the leather tanner instead. But I'm actually thinking I'm going to end that there. It's roughly 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I think it's a little bit more. And I do hope you have enjoyed watching a little bit more for Conquest with the Orcs. We have finally taken back Forodrine and we actually took Kerin Amroth. And somehow we won outrageous victories against the Lothlorien Elves. Now, I also do appreciate that the Lothlorien Elves are more defensive than offensive, as opposed to the Mirkwoodians, and therefore they may have done worse on the offense there in Forodrine than if they had been on the defensive. they probably would have done better if they had been defensive, but other than that, I can't think of how we won those battles that well or that much. So, outrageous victories, basically. I'm really happy. Anything else to say? Not really. I do hope you enjoyed my physics ramble and rant, and well, maybe not rant, and what more did I talk about? Guild Wars 2, yes, I do enjoy that quite a bit at the moment. It's really much fun. And yeah, thank you all very, try that again. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you have a good day, and I will see you all in my next episode. Thank you and bye.